Thank you, Dylan. Oh, gosh, okay, I'm not going to make it through this. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought I can't restart this speech. Some will argue that life is not as good as it could be. That things can always be a little bit better, and yet we never know quite where to put the bar of perfection, where we are the most successful and happiest. It is at that bar of perfection we often set our expectations. If I sat and thought about it, of course I could think of things I would change in college, other choices I would have made, maybe even an entire path I would have chosen. But if there's anything that I've learned in college, and especially in the HRC, you ought not to think about life that way, so as to not discredit the goodness that is in the life you have as opposed to the life you might have chosen. I learned that to be a leader was not simply to guide, but also to serve. Overall, I learned and truly understood what it meant to be a friend. All because others mirrored to me how to live well and how to love as Christ loved us. But amidst all the unexpected, I also did not anticipate the failures and the losses. Some such failures were due to more lack of judgment than anything, such as end of sophomore year, it was final season, and I had 2 essays due that Friday, none of which were done or started. But I also had a Thursday night 7 p.m. premiere ticket for Avengers Infinity War. So I did the most logical thing. At 7 p.m. I was in the theater, waiting for the movie to start, with a pad writing during the trailers my next paper. It was a low point when I was in the bathroom at 3 a.m. wondering how I was going to finish my essay when I was mourning the fact that Spider-Man was dust, and I didn't know how they expected me to cope and write at the same time. But we move on, things get done, and life continues. And Spider-Man's back, which is great. But I also did not expect that the other failures and losses that punctuated our 4 years at college. I did not expect that at the beginning of my freshman year, our community would lose a member and a friend. But what arose out of grief was a chorus of worship and praise. I did not expect that after only 1 semester, I would fail miserably in any of my attempts to attain a 4.0 and succumb to self-doubt and question, in what place did I place my identity? And why was I here? How could I possibly be in the honors college? What surrounded me was support and prayer and reassurance that those failures would not define what college had to offer me and not define me as well. But the failures continued as I failed to love God with all my strength, as I failed to love my neighbors as I ought to. But the support never wavered. As I was become silently overwhelmed with tears in the pews of Memorial Chapel, I would be surrounded by the arms of those who valued me for who I was. Dr. Witt once so wisely said last semester that what you do is making you into something. So make sure what you are doing is making you who you want to be. I never expected that those moments were the things that were making me into the person I am today, into the person that's standing before you. And above all, I never expected that despite my failures, I would have the opportunity to stand up here today and say thank you. It is often said that a person who lives life with no expectations is never disappointed. I can't see the page. But it's not as simple as that. Because we live in a community that not only encourages each other to reach for the stars, but we remind each other that whichever star you reach for, you'll be shining nonetheless. No, it is not about living life without expectations. It's about recognizing when those expectations and those ambitions have become an idol, and learning to let go and lean not on your own understandings, and trust that God's path and His plan supersedes even your wildest expectations. And you shouldn't allow your expectations to dictate your reception of the unexpected. Because if you think that you've blown God's plan for this life, rest in this. You, my friend, are not that powerful. And as I stand up here today, after all the lessons I've learned from this community, I never that after 4 years of learning from a community that taught me to love God, to love my neighbor, and to love learning, that I myself would be called to teach. I know that the lessons that I have learned here and that you all have taught me and that this community has taught me will surpass us all here, and they will pass on to new generations and new students. And when I walk at graduation this May, the footsteps on the stage will be thunderous to me because I walk in time with all those who have walked beside me. My family, my friends, my professors,